All right, we are recording. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Story Motors Podcast. My name is Robert. Mike is here, and we've got a good friend of ours. Do you want to introduce yourself, my good sir? Hi, dog. You're not the dog. It's my dog just came here while I was saying hello because he heard me talking. But you could be my dog too, you know. What up?
Okay.
Yeah.
So should I also introduce myself then?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh, he just
Okay.
ran away. Oh, sorry, buddy.
I go by Blaster Goblin across the internet. It's one of the worst names, but I love it.
But it's very memorable. Yes, we're joined today by Quinton, a.k.a. Blaster Goblin. Quinton, tell us about yourself. Kind of what you do a lot of videos, and you do a lot of fucking post production on videos than way more than we do here.
I do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Everything from single game reviews to a murder board about Mario and how Mario works to a lot of Tony Hawk streams. I'm kind of all over the place.
And that's pretty.
I can't.
It's kind of
Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's what's the word I'm thinking of, Mike? Coincidence that you do a lot of Tony Hawk streams, and we're talking all about Tony Hawk tonight. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's almost like I accidentally made myself the Tony Hawk guy.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, what's that shirt you're wearing?
Oh boy, this is the logo for my Tony Hawk streams. That would be what that is. Yeah. And you can get them at blastergoblin.com.
That is fucking awesome. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland is it's the word that the kids use. Goated, in my opinion.
It was one of my favorites until recently, but I'll let us get through all this intro stuff before I get into that.
We'll do a bit of intro. Today's episode is all about the Tony Hawk series. You know, recently they announced they're doing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 remake. So, you know, Mike and I, being fucking 90s kids who played a shitload of Tony Hawk, and Mike, who skateboarded professionally for 16 years, we wanted to talk about it. Mikey, how you doing today, buddy?
We're doing all right. You know, work was crazy, but got home.
Oh, rub it in. Okay.
Yeah, exchanging 10 hours of my life for a pittance, you know. But no, came home, sat outside on the back porch for a little bit, and then had a burrito, and here we are.
Perfect. I've got a different beer tonight.
Oh.
And I'm hoping that it shows up on screen properly. I don't know if it will. It is Keato's.
Hey, the Big
Gay Ale.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I love a good South Park reference.
I don't know if it's... it might be too blurry.
Yeah, it is.
Contains edible glitter.
Hell yeah.
You don't want that on your insides.
Yeah.
It's not coming out.
You act like I haven't had a shitload of these before. Keato's is a local brewery, and I was at a funeral last week that was right by the Keato's brewery, and I stopped in there for a bit to... Oh my... This is a fucking beautiful color, by the way. Stopped into Keato's to have a couple drinks, you know, to clear my nerves so I could do a little toasty toast speech. And ended up walking out with 4 Big Gay Ales. You can't really see you can't see the glitter.
Not really.
No.
Oh.
Kind of looks like a flat Coke.
A bit, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about Coke earlier because Quinton is drinking Coke Zero. And I was going to say, so I drink Coke Zero all the fucking time. But on a stream that we did recently where we had our good friend Arturo join us and help us make a bunch of drinks, I had to buy some actual Coca-Cola, and I just bought like little mini cans. We used a couple of those cans during the night, and then I had them just in my fridge. And the other day, I wanted a drink, and I was out of Coke Zero, so I was like, I'll just have, one of those. It'll be fine. No. Yeah. Holy shit. Coke is terrible. Have you guys had Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
My God. The fuck is wrong with you people who enjoy that
Zero
shit?
Until, it was 2 weeks ago I went to Coke Zero. and I don't think I can look back now. Like
No.
I'm in. I'm fully committed. I made it my whole personality.
It's much better. The Coke Zero just has a much better taste. The Coke, it was just so goddamn sweet that I would take a sip and just be like, oh God, what is this? And my spouse was like, it's Coke. I was like, oh, tastes like shit, but I'm gonna keep drinking it because I don't have anything else. And I suffered through it. I suffered through the pain, you guys.
Bless you.
Suffered through the pain. Anyway, Quinton, what have you been playing lately? Besides, obviously, I know you've been streaming a ton of the Tony Hawk games, pretty much the whole series, right?
Yeah, so I'm doing the entire mainline series, starting with Pro Skater 1. I'm through to Project 8 now.
Okay.
So I've played, I think, 7 games, and I've got, with 3 plus 4, about 7 more to go. But now I have a deadline to get them all done by July, so that's a lot of fun. But outside of Tony Hawk, I know it's like super old news, but I have like an hour left of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I got there last night. I was doing a kitchen remodel and lost games for like a solid month, so I'm trying to ramp that back up. And then I'm looking to get into Crime Boss Rocket City because I downloaded that today and I want to see how bad that is.
Yeah, it came out it was like a giveaway on the Epic, or on like Twitch streaming, Amazon Twitch Prime, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, Games with Prime. And I thought, why not? Really excited about that.
Yeah. I just recently built this computer a couple months ago. I haven't done too much like big gaming on it, but I've been adding those games to my library for a couple years now, so I've got a good selection of shit to play. But oh my God, I just looked down. So I've got that Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters 1 through 4 speed run up on the screen. I honestly looked away for these 7 minutes as we've been talking, and it went from Tony Hawk 1 to Tony Hawk 3. Did I just completely fucking miss 2? Did they skip 2?
Yeah. 2 is surprisingly hard. I don't know how they made it through that fast.
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't skip 2.
Yeah, we are 25 minutes into the stream. Let me pull it up here. There's no sound here, but so this is from Summer Games Done Quick, last year, 2024, and the streamer Partyman X is playing through Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, 2, 3, and 4, and getting all goals in all levels, and all gold medals as well. We're 26 minutes in, and they're on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. So within 26 minutes, they beat Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. And I think it's 4 that's obviously the longest one, because you got to run around and talk to fuckers. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's stupid.
Yeah. Which, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get into that right now.
So I keep giving away the whole bit before we get there.
No. It's totally fine, because that is literally the whole. We're just talking about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and how much we love it, because they recently announced this 3 and 4 remake coming out in June, and there was a bit of, I guess, if you want to call it controversy, you can. Mike, as I was looking through YouTube here, there was one of those shitty rage bait thumbnails that apparently on YouTube I can't just see that in the search field and then just block that channel because I don't want to fucking see that shit. It's dumb. It's like, they lied to us. But in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, that was the first quote-unquote open world one where you skate around and you get missions from people that are just standing there.
Yeah. Basically
the same gameplay as the other 3 games, but just a different way for you to get those missions, and then you didn't have the 2-minute timers for the entire level, Precursor, obviously, to Tony Hawk's Underground, which I think obviously made it much, much bigger and much better. But they announced that the levels in the 3 and 4 remake are just going to be the 2-minute levels with a list of goals. So instead of doing the free skate and then talking to somebody and they're like, oh, why don't you give me points? Like, why is this random person in the world just being like, do a 20,000 point combo? Who's counting that? Is this random person counting that combo? What the fuck?
Yes, they are.
I'm just saying, the immersion's gone. That's what I'm saying. All right. But yeah, so now it's just going to be the 2-minute levels with the list of goals. And Quinton, as someone who's just recently played through these games, what are you angry? Do you want to throw something at something because of that, or?
No, no, I'm kind of a 4 hater. More than most people. In my childhood, I skipped over it, and maybe that's why. Like I went from 3 to Thug, and those are like
Fair.
the 2 best games in the series. So I don't mind it, and I fully understand their reasoning why. But
Yeah.
I guess some people, if you're real nostalgic for it, maybe.
I mean, if you're real nostalgic for it, there's ways to fucking play it, you know. And I mean, I like some of the levels in 4. I'm a big fan of. Like, I love Zoo. I think Zoo is a great level in 4. And then there's the things in it that might be a little, I don't know. Well, I mean, not even really. They could just fucking do it. But there's something in like Zoo where you let an elephant loose, and then in the next level, that elephant has like run through and destroyed shit. You know. So I mean, it's probably just fine. But Mike, what is your history with Tony Hawk games?
All right, so the first Tony Hawk came out right as I started skateboarding, like when I was 13 in 1999. And yeah, I was just consuming every possible bit of like skateboarding content and videos, games, magazines, anything. And so obviously it's like, oh, here's Tony Hawk, the guy who, you watched do a 900 and thought, yeah, I can definitely do skateboarding. He made a video game? Let's do this. So, like, I was an early adopter. Like, I was in at the first one. But and I remember owning 1, owning 2, and then I think I skipped over 3 for some reason, and I had 4, and I had Underground for a minute, and then I think I traded it and some other games in. But that was Underground was the last one that I bought with my own money. Man, many, many fond memories. Staying up, drinking Mountain Dew, playing this over at my buddy Micah's house.
Just a sec here. Yeah, and sorry for those watching. I switched back to the camera a few times, just making sure everything is good to go here. Yeah, I mean, and Quinton, did you play the games as you were growing up as well, or like as they were coming out, or did you kind of find the series later?
Yeah, I'm a little younger, so I started with 3. I have a real vague memory of I think 2, 1 or 2 from like a family video rental, and then but the first one I remember playing was 3, and I just grew up with the series from then on. Like every single entry I was in on.
Yeah, I think for myself it was it was 1, and it was the fucking Pizza Hut demo of the oh god, now I can't remember the name of the fucking level in Tony Hawk's 1, the first fucking level in the entire series.
The warehouse.
Warehouse, thank you. I keep thinking Foundry, which is from 3, and then Hangar, which is from 2. Could not think of the word warehouse. Even though right now on my TV to my left, somebody is playing Sonic Unleashed, where he's a werehog, so that should have been a clue in my dumb mind. Don't drink, kids. It's delicious. But yeah, that fucking warehouse demo, over and over and over again, just playing through that shit. And then when the game came out, it was obviously I was too young to buy it, because unlike Mike, Quinton and I are young stallions. I was 11. But yeah, I think I rented it. That could have
been where it came from, was that demo, because I do remember having one of those demo discs.
Yeah,
but I don't remember if it was the Tony Hawk one or not.
Yeah, if I want to say, and it could be incorrect, I think that demo also had a demo for Final Fantasy VII on it.
I think so too.
Which is insane. Didn't play that one because it wasn't skateboarding. So
I should know this because I did a video on this whole thing like a year ago, but it's all lost to me. Like I said before we started, my brain is just like, it's just dissolved into mush at this point.
Totally fine. And if I, heads up, if I mute myself, I've got a bit of a cough right now, and I don't want to cough straight into the microphone because it's annoying and loud. So pardon me in advance. Yeah, so you say your favorites are 3 and Thug, Quinton?
Yes, yeah. Thug for sure is number one, and then
Yep.
3 right behind it.
What is it about 3 specifically? Because 1 through 3, you can really look at as like, these are the OGs. You know, they're the 2-minute levels with the competition levels in between them. 4, as we said, was kind of the precursor to Thug, and then from there it was just that. It was more and more open world. So
Yeah,
what was it about? Was it just was it the, what was it? It was revert was added in 3, manual was added in 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what was it about 3? Was it just the fact that you could kind of do all of them now, or?
I think 3 was like it's like the ultimate like toolkit of skateboard moves that you need. Like it's all the basics. Like 2, you're still without a revert. You're kind of down on stuff in 2. 3 kind of just like you have the kit to do any kind of combo you need. You don't have like all the like super advanced stuff you get in the later games like sticker slaps and stuff like that. That
Yeah.
like to really make your combos go. But
Yeah.
I think it's like the most polished version of that 2-minute timer classic
Yeah.
version.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that, Mike. You said you basically skipped 3 though. This is 3 that's on the screen right now. They're on.
It's
the,
one of those. I feel like I remember this,
Mm-hmm.
but also I know because after this I played a ton of Skate,
Fair.
and
Fair.
they had a cruise ship that was very similar. So I'm like, I unsure if I played Tony Hawk 3 or I'm just confused and don't remember Skate looking as good as it used to. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That could be like lost in your mind because it's a really short game. Like 3
yeah,
is
no,
fairly short in the
Oh,
scheme
yeah.
of like all of
oh
them.
yeah, no, now I remember. Yeah, I played 3. I remember this.
So 3 for me.
Oh, real quick, the demo disc that had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, that was Pizza Hut demo disc number 1, and it had Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Ape Escape, Crash Team Racing, Final Fantasy VIII, and Cool Borders 4.
Yep, that's the one I had. That's one I had for sure because I remember the Ape Escape demo because I played that 1,000,000 times.
So, so Mike, you mentioned Skate. Quentin, did you play Skate?
Yeah,
You a
I
big Skate
played
guy?
Skate. I played Skate 3. I was a big Skate 3 guy, but 1
Okay.
and 2 kind of passed me by.
Okay. What I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna stop recording Tony Hawk games. Yeah, 3, because you said Quentin, you said like it seems like a bit of a shorter one. It's funny you say that because my main memories of 3 were playing it on the PlayStation 1. Because I think that was the first one that came out on the PS2 as well. It was a cross-gen. But I had a neighbor who had it on the PS1, and we had like we got to the point where we would hang out. I'd go over to his house. We'd just pick a skater and just play through the entire game in like an hour or two. And be like, all right, see you tomorrow. And the next day we'd just fucking do it again. Just playing it over and over again, just front to back with a new character each day to unlock everybody and unlock everything.
Yeah, that might be part of why like it's got that Resident Evil nature of just like you just keep running it over and over again to see how good you get at it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I love playing, and then you get a new secret skater, and then you do that first, and then you get another secret skater.
Yeah.
It's a fun grind.
Yeah, 3 was and I think I didn't play 3 on the PS2 until I honestly think only in the last couple of years since I got a Steam Deck and I was able to play certain things in a certain way. Yeah, I hadn't played it on the PS2 until then. The first one that I played on PS2 was the thing that we're seeing on screen now, which was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Which I honestly didn't realize had also come out on the PlayStation 1. Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Until the same time period when I played 3 on the PS2 on the Steam Deck. And I was looking for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, and it was like, PS2 or PS1? And I was like, that's not a fucking PS1 game. What are you talking about? It is. And it's the same gameplay. It's the same going through the open world and getting these missions. You don't have the NPC standing there. It's just like a floating blob. And the render distance is almost non-existent.
It's like skating in Silent Hill.
Yeah, oh my god, pretty much that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird experience, and I booted it up just last week, the one for the PS1, because I thought maybe, okay, well they're not doing the open world-ish thing for 3+4, so maybe they had that same 2-minute level thing on the PlayStation 1 version, and no, it was the quote-unquote open world thing. So yeah, kind of ahead of its time if you think about it.
Yeah.
But they're the frat boys. Fuck you, frat boys. So, Quinton, Mike, who were your go-to skaters when you were playing the games growing up?
Ooh.
You go ahead first.
Man, I mean, I think it ended up being different every game. So, Pro Skater 1, it was Muska. Just always Muska. Muska.
You were talking about my spot-on Bam Margera impression earlier.
Just amazing.
Muska, you want to come skate this hair-dash ramp? Come to Westchester.
Tony Hawk 2, Eric Costin, because love Costin to this day. Just so fucking good. And then, let's see. I'm looking at the wiki to, like, remind myself. Because at this point, it's been so very long.
Yeah. The first one came out, like we said, 1999. That's at least 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, this is when, Tony Hawk 3, Andrew Reynolds. Oh, love Andrew Reynolds. God damn. I think after this, I might be watching some skate videos. Just, yeah, man. 4. Oh, Kareem. I'm just like
Kareem Campbell.
Whatever. Yep. And then finally I'm just like, oh shit, wait. Like I watch his old like World Industries parts. I'm like, oh shit, wait. He rips. Goddamn.
Yeah, I was a Bam main for most of it.
Yeah.
That or Tony. I was a big Tony fan.
Yeah.
Just the most two generic people to start with.
Yeah.
It's weird now that like, growing up I was that, and then now I'm like an encyclopedia on skateboard knowledge from playing these games.
Mm-hmm.
Bam only joined in 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he wasn't in 1.
He joined in 3
sure he
and
wasn't
then
in 2.
Yeah.
And then he was pretty much in there until forever, and now he's just not in there anymore. Because he's kind of crazy, but it seems to be turning things around, and I hope for his case that is then he's going to be good to go. Because Bam Margera is a huge part of the Tony Hawk series, especially later on down the line. I mean, you can't remake Tony Hawk's Underground 2 without Bam Margera.
Absolutely not.
Like you could do Tony Hawk's Underground 1 without him. You could just swap out his things for somebody else because it's not as much. But you could not do Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is Jackass the Tony Hawk game.
I don't think you could leave Bam out of Underground because he has the best lines in that entire game.
Yeah.
Like, he has there's the part where he's in Moscow and he's like obsessed with the tanks. That's a really good line.
Yeah.
And then one of the funniest things I've ever heard when you finish that Tampa competition and he grabs and he goes, "That run was bullshit," but in a good way. Is like one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Love it.
Mike, what were you going to say about Bam?
Oh, he just kind of like after Underground 2, he just kept like at that time, like they had to hitch their wagon to Bam just because of how popular it was. I mean, God, like the amount of girls I remember in high school who had like heartograms drawn on every fucking thing.
Yeah, he's like notorious for selling boards just to like people to put them on their walls and not.
Yeah.
People who didn't know anything about skating, they just bought boards because it was him.
Yeah.
And the heartogram logo that you said wasn't even his logo, but he just used it so much that a lot of people, I think, even now, you look at that logo and you think, "Oh, Bam Margera."
Yeah, you don't think the band, him.
Yeah, you don't think of the band that actually made it, that Bam absolutely loves and had them on his show anytime he fucking could. Well, you know what? Now we're gonna pivot into Viva La Bam. So it was on for. Actually, rewatched
I'm all
that.
for it. Let's
yeah,
go
rewatched
deep.
it a couple years ago, and you know what? For the most part, holds up. If you grew up with it.
I'm a BAM apologist.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a big BAM apologist.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really got some pretty insane stuff in his past, but
Yeah.
I try to hold on as much as I can.
Yeah, he's got a lot of substance abuse issues, which is terrible. And then but like when you watch Viva La Bam, especially now, like when you go back and you watch it, you're like, oh no, he kind of did come from almost a dysfunctional background. You know, like his family unit, his parents seem like, you know, super chill, but then like the more you see of the rest of his family, you're like, this is how he grew up. You can kind of see it, you know, and where everything goes to, which is, you know, too bad. But wow,
Yeah.
Oliver, my dog is here and he just has slobber just dripping.
Oh, buddy.
You okay there, buddy? Good talk. Okay.
Yeah, I can go deep on BAM. I follow him pretty regularly, and I did like a kind of a big bit on the stream a couple weeks ago about like he's been doing a lot of skating, and I like went through and watched a lot of his, and he's doing really good skating again. Like, I mean, he's not back to what he was, but he's doing some pretty solid stuff again.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
kind
I
of
think
impressive that he
it's
came back from that.
I've been following him on Instagram for years, but I don't use Instagram as much. But his, you know, every once in a while it comes up and I'm out here doing skating, and it's just like he's just kind of riding like a half pipe or something, and just kind of doing. It's not at the level that he was before, as you're saying, but just like, you know what, man, fuck yeah, dude, get back on the board. That's what made you happy. That's what you know you did in your life to kind of get away from shit. So if that's what can make you happy now, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
If you want to see some good BAM skating, like an update of where he's at, the Dern brothers, I don't know if you guys see it.
Yeah.
YouTube skaters, they have a full hour documentary of just skating with BAM.
Oh shit. Okay.
They've done a couple things with him, but their newest thing is it's like a big long skate video with BAM, and it's surprisingly really good.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So now and I want to go back. I want to go into your series that you're doing. You're going through the mainline games, you said.
Yes.
Okay, so you're on right now American Wasteland, or did you finish that one?
I'm done. I finished that, and
you're on
Jams,
Project 8.
On Project 8 now. Yep.
Okay. How many more games do you have?
I think 7. I've got Proving Grounds, Ride, Shred, Pro Skater HD, Pro Skater 5, and then 1+2. So, yeah, 7. And then 3+4. So,
Quinton,
8 now.
Quinton, I want you to look at me right now. You don't have to do this to yourself.
I definitely thought it would be a lot quicker than it is. It's really more time consuming because I'm 6 months in now.
Yeah.
And it's only Tony Hawk.
So back before 1 and 2 remake got announced, actually, my roommate at the time and I just decided, hey, let's play through the Tony Hawk games. How many of them do we have access to? And then, we figured out a way to play all of them. At that time, we literally just he had some classic consoles. We went to a game store to get Tony Hawk's, I think 4 or Thug or something. The few that we didn't have, we got all the main ones, the numbered ones for the most part. The numbered, and then Thug 2, American Wasteland, Proving Grounds, and Project 8. So none of we didn't have the Game Boy games. We didn't have anything else. We didn't have anything like that. So we just played through those. And I think when we got to Tony Hawk's Underground, they announced, hey, we're remaking 1 and 2. And we're just like, oh, I guess this is what we're playing towards. Okay. And then, we kept playing them until 1 and 2 came out. And then we did we just took the next day off of work. Both of us did. Stayed up all night playing through both games. Got a shitload of Mountain Dew. Got a bunch of Pizza Hut to call back to the demo disc. And just had a fucking Tony Hawk bro night. So when 3 and 4 come out, Mikey...
We're having a bro night?
We're having a bro night. Quinton, if you want to come
Hell
out to
yeah.
Salt Lake, by all means. Okay?
I'm all in
Yeah.
on any kind of Tony Hawk oriented night.
Yeah. So, and 3 and 4, oh, God, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so fun! But I want to talk to you about not playing Ride because it's shit.
Oh,
It's
what do you
extreme
mean?
shit.
Check
I was
this.
about
This
to
came
say-
from this came in from eBay the other day.
Oh wow,
At
that's
arm's length, a fresh ride board, freshly calibrated. It only took like 5 hours to calibrate, like they always do.
I feel like
you know,
you both need to be on lists for this
Oh,
shit.
you got the shred board. I kind of wanted the shred board.
You want to see something real sad, though?
Other than that,
Oh boy.
oh boy.
You-
Yeah, those are
you use
exploded
it so
batteries
much,
because this thing has never been fucking used after the one time that we used it. See
Yeah.
how shit it was. And guess what? Super shit.
So that ride board I had to order because I had a ride board when it came out and I played it like 2 or 3 times, and then I thought it was in my mom's garage, but I had the dongle. I'm the only person in the world who kept a dongle and not the like controller. So I was like, I guess I'll see if I can find a controller on eBay.
I'm gonna need this. This board, get it. Just over the shoulder.
And just like every time I'd pack up my Wii stuff, I was like, oh look, this Tony Hawk dongle. I'll just
Yeah.
throw it in the pile.
Gotta hang on to this bad boy.
Yeah, we
I'm glad
tried
I did.
playing
It's
it
gonna be
once.
handy.
Yeah.
And did maybe an hour or two. And both of us were just like, I get why this failed.
Yeah, it's the stream I'm most excited for. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I'm working for. Like all these early games are really like nostalgic and fun, and I'm getting like to the threshold where it's all just gonna be good content. It's not fun, but good
Not
content.
fun games, but good content. And that's
Yeah.
all that really matters in this crazy mixed up world, you know?
And then it all pays off with 1+2 and 3+4 at the end.
Like that 1 and 2, like 1+2 and 3+4 being the almost rewards for playing through the rest of the fucking games that you're about to play through.
Mm-hmm.
That should be worth it. That should be worth it. I know 1 and 2 obviously are almost fucking perfect remakes. And the thing I loved about 1 and 2 that they're doing obviously again in 3 and 4 is that they're bringing back, a lot of the old people from the old games, but they're the old people
But
now.
yeah, as the old guys.
Like, so it's
Great.
not, like I'm a Mushka, Chad Mushka, every fucking game. That's my guy. And the fact that Tony Hawk in 1 and 2, he's 40-something years old,
Yeah.
and you can tell. It's like, fuck yeah, this is how I want to do this. I want this game to grow up with me, and it
Yeah.
fucking did.
Yeah, Rodley Mullen's so wrinkly, he looks like the side of a tree.
God. My man had a TED talk where he talked about jamming himself in the hip with a screwdriver so he could loosen up some scar tissue in there.
Man, hearing that guy talk about anything is like so absurd. I've never heard anyone so passionate about something.
Yeah.
Like, he sounds like he's like a monk, but it's about skateboarding, and it's just the wildest thing in the world.
Oh,
He's like incredibly learned and also incredibly interested in whatever the fuck it is you're talking about.
Yeah.
oh man. So we talked about your favorite ones, 3, and then Tony Hawk's Underground. Can we just talk about how perfect Tony Hawk's Underground is?
It is perfect.
Like, is there anything wrong with that game other than maybe a few, probably outdated, maybe stereotypes that I'm not thinking of right now?
Yeah, there's a McDonald's chef that's a little questionable. That has a really thick accent.
Yeah.
Doesn't age well
Yeah.
in the modern day, and if they remake it, that guy certainly isn't coming back. But he'll
That guy's not
probably
gonna
be a
be in
Taco
Rush
Bell
Hour
chef.
2.
But other than that, it ages beautifully, and it plays perfect.
It plays fucking perfectly. Yeah, that's when we got to that one. I think I want to say we fucking just did even more than like was necessary. We just were trying to do every single thing in that game because he and I both just fucking love Underground. That first one. Excuse me. It is just it's everything that they were building towards, and it's the good parts of 4 made even better. And Eric Sparrow is a cunt and is one of the worst villains in video game history. And this is a fucking skateboarding game. Like,
yeah, Dr. Doom has nothing on him.
No. It's insane how they. You can tell, like, they were just like, oh, let's make a story and everything, and it's going to be, you'll have this, your friend who turns his back on you, and then blah, 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 blah. And for a generation of kids growing up playing it, they grow up and they fucking hate Eric Sparrow. Mm-hmm. Now, Mike, I think you can confirm this for me.
Yeah.
Is there a Hot Mulligan song that says, like, Eric Sparrow's terrible or something like that?
Ooh, I don't know.
I thought you were if my spouse was here, I would ask him, but he is either at work or driving home from work.
Yeah, sorry, I'm out on the Hot Mulligan talk. I haven't gotten into them enough.
End Eric Sparrow and the Life of Him by Hot Mulligan.
By Hot Mulligan. End Eric Sparrow and the Life of Him. And we'll cut to a clip of that right now.
And that's just I'm really behind on the Hot Mulligan. I feel like I really need to get into them. They just I keep forgetting to get to them.
I have seen them live 4 or 5 times.
Really? And
I have chosen to see them live 0 times. But they just keep opening up for bands that I'm going to see.
Yeah.
And like I said, my spouse fucking loves them. I
mean, they're 100% my kind of music, so I should be into them. I just keep forgetting. Just a forgetfulness is all it is.
It's, you know what? Maybe I should listen to Hot Mulligan. No? Yeah, well. I've got other shit going on today. But yeah, just like for a generation of kids, Eric Sparrow is their villain. You know? Mm-hmm. And he's a piece of shit. And he fucking steals the goddamn clip you jumping over. The goddamn jump from roof to roof in Hawaii is insane, and it's so fucking cool. And you just feel like a badass.
With the plot of that game,
cutting it off. There's an actual plot to this dumb fucking skateboarding game that I can remember all the beats to. Why?
That part of the story makes no sense to me. Like, unless he is like a video editing master.
Yeah.
Because you do like a Mick twist. So no matter what the camera angle is, you're seeing your face.
Yeah. I think he like edited it and there's some like blue or something on the face. But yeah, they're just nobody looks into it either. It's like, oh, this is you? Yeah? Cool. Awesome. Yeah, we believe you. Here's all the money.
It recorded on like a Motorola Razor, so you really can't tell what it is. Yeah. You can't make out features.
God damn, Tony Hawk's Underground 1. 2, not as good. Let's just. I don't think that's a controversial statement.
No,
there's a lot of people that really go for 2. They're all about 2. They think it's the best of the series. It's kind of started the whole like Thug Pro movement.
Yeah,
but I don't feel like it.
Thug Pro is like the kind of fan remaster remake thing, right?
Yeah, it's a mod for Thug 2 on PC that has maps from like every game and then modded characters and stuff. It's all multiplayer based and it's kind of losing its fan base to Rethawed recently.
Now, what is Rethawed now? Is this a thing that I need to look? I just got this gaming PC and I've heard a lot about Thug Pro, and I would love to try it out. But if there's something better.
Thug Pro's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not really a PC gamer. All of my PC experience is through Steam Deck. Like I don't want to sit here to play a game unless I'm on streaming. But Rethawed is an American Wasteland mod that is basically the same thing as Thug Pro, but it has all of American Wasteland is accessible through it. Like the story is there, classic mode is there, and then it also has online multiplayer with maps from all over. Now you can get modded characters in there and different maps from games that aren't even Tony Hawk, like the Disney Extreme Skate maps and stuff like that
Oh
are in
shit.
there. And people
Yeah, that
upload
Disney
their own
Extreme
stuff to
Skate,
it.
a fucking
It's-
Disney skateboarding game built on the Tony Hawk engine. That's way better than it has any fucking right to be.
Oh
That's
yeah,
insane.
absolutely.
God.
Yeah, and that the rethought is like they're super on like updating it and making sure that
Yeah.
like any issue is addressed. It's quite a nifty mod
Yeah.
for somebody who doesn't use mods or ever play PC games. I'm into it.
I think the only mod that I've really dived into in video games was Fallout London for Fallout 4. And it's incredible once you can get it to work. Mike does not know because Mike gave up on it.
Could not get it to work.
Could not get it to work properly. Yeah. So, yeah, Underground
That's a lot
2.
of my modding experience is
Yeah.
Fallout 4, and then I realized couldn't get achievements, so I just gave up on it.
Oh, that too. Yeah. No, Fallout 4 on console. Yeah, I had like I'm glad they added that well after the game was complete because I already had all the achievements and I was like, cool, I don't have to worry about not getting these. Because I'm an
Yeah,
achievement
I quit doing
whore.
it for the achievements, and then I didn't get the rest of the achievements. I didn't even finish the game.
Finish Fallout 4. You know what? We'll pause. Go finish it now.
Go finish. Well,
Yeah.
we can wait.
I have a weird kind of like RPG aversion where I really get into an RPG until like level 20, and then once I hit level 20, I just like lose all interest and don't touch it. And I do that like 6 times with the same game.
That's fair.
Skyrim, same
That's fair.
case. I've made to level 20 of Skyrim like a million times and never any farther than that.
I have so many characters in Skyrim that just end. Like if I loaded them up right now, I'm just in the middle of nowhere with 100 active quests. I don't know any of these fucking characters. But I yell
gets-
at people
it
and
can
they
get
fall
over-
off a mountain, so that's all I care about. You know. Yeah, Thug 2, I wouldn't call myself a Thug 2 apologist. We replayed it for, when we were doing our whole thing, a few years back. And there was just a bunch of that game that I didn't remember. And it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got some kind of wonky level design.
Yeah.
Like New Orleans, people really like New Orleans. It's a terrible level. It's very vertical. You're like on a lot of rooftops and stuff. It sucks.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bloated, but I guess not in a bad way. It's just a kind of a big game. Like the story is fairly long, and then the classic mode on top of it is longer than it needs to be. Also,
Yeah, and the classic mode in that is kind of what it sounds like they're doing with 4 in this remake, where it was the 2-minute levels with the list of goals, which when I went back and looked on the PS1 version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 and the PS2 version, I loaded both of them up to see it, and they have a classic mode that gives you a 2-minute timer, but it doesn't give you the list of goals. It's just free skate for 2 minutes.
yeah.
And it's like, what? Why is this a thing?
Single session.
Yeah, single session. And it's just, but you can't play the levels until you unlock them in the actual career mode, which
Yes.
it's, yeah.
Single
I don't-
session is for high score nuts. That's like that. If you're gonna post a high score,
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
if you're going through official channels or whatever, you
Yeah.
do it in single session.
Yeah. Mikey, did you play Tony Hawk's American Wasteland?
I don't believe I did.
Okay.
That one, it just does not. Like, nothing about it really sounds familiar. So. That was one, just like, I don't really remember any of this here.
You don't have any familiarness for the no loading screens. That's entirely just a little hallway you skate through and it loads.
Oh, wait, now I remember. Yeah. God. That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a. Oh boy, yeah, you're getting my Pokemon pack rips in there.
Yeah, now we're back up
when
on screen. We're doing some pack rips. Looks like.
yeah,
So really
I
quick for those watching, I switched from the 1 through 4 playthrough from Games Done Quick, and now we are just pulling up one of Quinton here's recent live streams of doing American Wasteland. I say recent. What is this? A month ago? Oh yeah, it's kind of recent. Ripping packs and getting things, but yeah. Yeah, so I just want
yeah,
this up on as we talk about American Wasteland.
okay, yeah. I lost my train of thought where I was going. Oh yeah, the
I'm
loading
sorry.
screens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The lack
the
of
loading
loading screens.
Yeah.
They have it. It's in big letters on the back of the box. No loading, and
Yeah.
then like
Yeah.
it's a free roam open world, and they're like go from Hollywood to Beverly Hills, and you go up an escalator into just a hallway, and
Yeah.
then you come out the other side.
An
But
empty fucking hallway that just has things that you can grind on and nothing else.
yeah, there's nothing but grinds. It's always like
Yeah.
two planters and then like a railing.
Yeah. Or
And-
when you
and
go
my
from
edit
one of the
disc-
levels to the little the area that you're building up, then it's just like a sewer and you're just grinding
Yeah.
on pipes. Like
Yeah, it's an uphill sewer too, so it's like not good to
yeah,
combo.
yeah.
But when I was a kid, my American Wasteland disc, because I played it so much, eventually got kind of scratched up. So I'd go into those no loading screens, and there's like roll up doors at the end of every spot.
Yeah.
And they just wouldn't come up because it was still loading. So I just hit them, and I just have to sit there and wait for that door to roll up. So it gave myself just an extra boring loading screen where I just kind of stood there and waited.
God.
Yeah, American Wasteland. We replayed it in our playthrough here. I fucking love American Wasteland so much. It is so silly and over the top at times. There's no, you can't be like, no, it's a serious story. No, it's fucking dumb.
No.
But it is the kind of dumb that I love. And we talked about this soundtrack on a previous episode of this podcast that never got posted because I'm a dumb piece of shit and forgot to record my audio. But I don't know if you remember this, Quinton. The soundtrack for this game
It's the best of the series.
is the best in the series, and it's not just a dope ass soundtrack. Like most of the soundtrack is classic punk songs, but redone by like modern bands at the time.
Yeah. There's
And-
a My Chemical Romance cover of Misfits Astro Zombie
Yeah.
that bangs so hard. That
Oh,
is
yeah.
such a good cover.
Like I think Census Fail did Institutionalized, Take 'Em Back Sunday. Oh, I forget what they.
They did Suburban Home and I Like Food
Yeah,
by the
I Like Food.
Descendants.
Yeah. It is.
Not even on the punk. Like, that soundtrack goes hard all the way around. Like, the Scissor Sisters, Filthy Gorgeous.
Yeah.
What a hardcore disco song. Like, that's such a good disco song. I love that song.
And
I
like
unironically listen to that all the time.
no fucking no reason to unironically no, it's a dope soundtrack. It's cool as shit. I can't think of any games that have done something similar to that.
No, not that good.
Yeah.
Not even the rest of the Tony Hawk series has had a
No.
soundtrack that good.
And we say that, the rest of the Tony Hawk series, those soundtracks aren't as good, but the Tony Hawk series has some of the best licensed soundtracks of all
God,
time,
yeah.
if not the best licensed soundtracks of all time. And if you want to argue with me on that, by all means, go ahead. Either of you.
Nobody does it better.
Yeah.
Like it eventually, like for some of the series, it kind of becomes like a theme. Like every game has like a theme song to it.
Mhm.
Like American Wasteland, like Frank Black's Los Angeles is like that's the theme song to it. And
Yeah.
like like Pro Skater 2, like Guerrilla Radio. When you think of that game, you think of Guerrilla Radio because it's like your opening theme song. Or 3 has like Ace of Spades by Motorhead.
Yeah.
Like
And one
it's
is,
so awesome that they
Goldfigure.
have a
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Like, and I don't even think that's the opening track for one. Like, I think that song just it's not the like opening FMV or whatever.
I
Like
think
that
the
video
opening
sequence.
FMV, it's just like it's like an original sound thing. I'm probably
I'm having a hard
mistaken
time
here.
recalling it.
But it's just like
This
a
is
lot
the
of like
problem.
scratches and stuff.
with recent memory is a problem because I've been streaming them, so I have all the music off. Like I'm not, except for like American Wasteland. I just let the copyright claim come because I had to have the Frank Black opening.
Yeah,
it's just too iconic to let go.
The soundtracks for the games are
really fucking good.
Really good, and so we did an episode with our good friend Mega Ran last year. It was one of our earlier. It's like episode 15 that we did of this podcast that we've talked about a few times on here. But I record everything locally here on my end, and my OBS, I didn't realize that it had done this because I wasn't too aware of OBS at the time, was not recording my audio through my mic. And my audio also wasn't coming through on the Discord stream for it to pick up. So the episode that we recorded together, we all talked. We talked for like an hour and a half. It was incredible. It was super fun. And then the recording itself had no audio from me. And if you've been able to tell from now for this whole time, I talk a lot. So there was a lot of dead air. Sorry, Mike. Mike gets mad every time at the end of every episode. He's like, I want to talk more. And I'm just like, no, you're not allowed to. You're too beautiful. Okay?
That's fine.
You can't have the smarts
anytime you want
and the attention.
I get it.
Smarts and
Yeah,
attention.
As the guest, you can just push me down and talk over me.
But
it's your time to shine.
But like the episode that we did with Mega Ran, it was just talking about video game soundtracks, and a good majority of it was talking about the Tony Hawk soundtrack, and
oh yeah,
and the idea that it wasn't just, like we're talking about American Wasteland right now. It's a lot of punk music. Like you said, Scissor Sisters had like a dope-ass disco song. It wasn't just punk music and like alternative music. Like there is so much hip-hop and so much music that kids at that time just didn't have that access to. And it unlocked this new world of underground music, whether it was punk, whether it was hip-hop, whether it was, other things like this. And like like Eric Sparrow being kind of a big villain to a generation of kids, I truly believe the Tony Hawk soundtrack is something that kind of set an entire generation up with their musical tastes and went right into Warped Tour because it was those same bands. So you would be playing Tony Hawk and you would hear these bands. You're like, oh, that band is cool as it's cool as shit. And then you see they're on Warped Tour. Then you go to Warped Tour and now you're seeing that band. And now you're seeing 90 other fucking bands that are also cool as shit. And then the next year there's a new Tony Hawk game and there's new music. And then they're on Warped Tour. And then they're doing this tour and they're doing this. And it let this whole scene grow through this soundtrack, and opened up a lot of kids' eyes to a lot of awesome music that they may not have been aware of. Because if you're just playing, you're just playing Mario, you're hearing Mario music, which is cool, but you're not going to fucking pop that shit on an iPod. You might. I don't know.
Yeah, we're not.
You got anything, Mike? You want to go first?
I mean, no. I'm just kind of going through all of the soundtracks now because I'm just like, oh shit, this is where I heard this. I thought it was something completely different.
Yeah, thinking about I was like, 10 or 12 years old, and I'm listening to Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire.
Right.
It was in Thug 2. It's like, what a weird song for a kid that age to be listening to. Just, bumping that in the Doors.
Man. God. Weird appearances. I was going to say, weird appearances of the Doors in actually like weird popular video games that really set a lot of people on certain life paths. Yeah. They were Tony Hawk and Need for Speed Underground or Underground 2.
I'm pretty sure isn't Break On Through like the theme song for Thug 2 in that it's like opening song? I'm pretty sure it's the Doors. It's kind of a weird song, but for whatever reason Ring of Fire is the one that comes to mind when I think about it. Just because it's so out of place.
Oh yeah.
It's like, that's the thing. It's out of place if you look at the list of music, but as you're playing the game, I get it.
Fits.
It fits.
Yeah.
It fits in this fucking game. It fits in this weird world that Tony Hawk has created. And by Tony Hawk, I mean obviously the developers, but you know what I mean. No, Tony Hawk made all these games by hand on his own.
I know in the original one, I know he had a big hand in like the soundtrack. I don't know how much he did as it went farther on, but I know, like, the first like Dead Kennedys and stuff. It's like that's him. He's on,
Yeah.
on that kind of stuff.
There's did you watch the documentary about the making of like the first game and stuff in the series?
Pretending I'm a Superman.
Thinking I'm a Superman or something. Pretending I'm a Superman.
I don't think I watched that one.
Yeah, I highly recommend
I've watched
that.
a lot of Tony Hawk documentaries.
But I highly recommend that documentary. It came out a few years back called "Pretending I'm a Superman," and it's all about the creation of the first Tony Hawk game, and kind of most of it is about creating that first Tony Hawk game and the soundtrack, and then it's oh, and then we did this, and it kind of grew and grew and grew. But like a good majority of the documentary is the genesis of the game and kind of why they wanted to make it and how they came about making it, how they contacted Tony Hawk and how they got the soundtrack and everything, and specifically that fucking song, Superman by Goldfinger, which is anybody playing the games now, you hear that song for a ton of people. You hear that song by Goldfinger and you immediately just have your mind taken back to playing Tony Hawk. And a little side tangent about Goldfinger. I'm doing a different podcast, a music podcast, and the first big episode that we're doing is all about the career of Blink-182. And I learned that Goldfinger had kind of taken a hiatus years ago, and when they came back, it was pretty much just the lead singer, and he decided that Goldfinger was just going to be like a kind of like a super group.
Oh yeah, just kind of a rotating cast.
Pretty much, yeah. So for one of their albums, one of the official members of Goldfinger, who also was like a co-writer on the songs, was Travis Barker, the drummer of Blink-182.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know they had a later album that's really good. I want to say it's Tijuana Sunrise. At least that's a song.
Tijuana Sunrise is a song on that album. It's called The Knife. Yeah.
The Knife. Okay.
That is the one where
album.
Travis Barker is listed as an official member of Goldfinger, so that is going to be in our episode about Blink-182 and their whole career.
Yeah, I think Mark Hoppus is on a song. It's that song, I believe, Tijuana Sunrise.
He's on a different song. He's on a different song.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but Tijuana Sunrise, I think, was like the big single of the album.
Okay.
But yeah, Mark Hoppus was on a different song. Yeah.
That's like my favorite Goldfinger album.
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been listening to nothing but Blink-182 and Blink-182 side projects and Angels and Airwaves, which I wouldn't call a side project, but like nothing but all that for the past couple of weeks getting ready for this podcast. And looking into it, I found that Goldfinger thing, and I was like, oh, is that just... Because Travis Barker has been on so much fucking shit. Just drums everywhere. But for this one, he's listed as a member of Goldfinger. He has songwriting credits. So I'm like, we're putting this in the list. And I listened to that album for the first time, and I was like, oh shit, this is... Goldfinger's good, turns out. Sorry, that was a Goldfinger tangent.
Before we get off that tangent, the Blink-182 tangent, are you a Matt or a Tom guy?
Tom.
Like where are you at?
Tom.
You're a Tom guy? All right, okay.
Yeah.
You good people. Oh, that's sick. I'm
first
forever
tattoo.
a Tom guy.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love the Matt albums. I love California, especially. I think California is a great fucking album. 9 has some really standout tracks, but Tom,
Gotta have that wine.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And it was weird. They did a show just a couple weeks ago, where it was Blink-182, and the opening band was Alkaline Trio, which is Matt Skiba's band.
Yeah.
And they brought Matt out when they played Bored to Death from California, and he like sang it, and Tom was just kind of on, he was on guitar and just kind of walking around. And that video of the 4 of them playing Bored to Death, I thought about that the other day when I got laid off, and I was like, if these 4 can make it on stage playing Bored to Death, I don't need to kill myself right now. Because there's hope in this world.
When I got laid off, the first thing I thought was, I need to call Matt Skiba.
Exactly.
Get some time.
Exactly. I thought about it, and then I was like, do I have his number? No? Well.
Hell damn it. All right.
But, yeah, no, I'm a Tom guy.
By Matt Skiba.
I'm going to call my old boss tomorrow, and he's like, yeah, we just hired this guy, Matt? Super tall. Super tall. He's
Eva.
doing the same job, but it's just different. Yeah, I'm not like as I drink, I think the confetti or the edible glitter kind of on the bottom. Just I wish they'd put a lot more in here. To be completely honest with you, I want this thing to shine bright like a diamond, but it doesn't.
Well, don't worry, your shit will.
I hope so. I'll send you pictures.
Don't you dare.
So after American Wasteland, I don't know about you, but for me, that was kind of the swan song to my big Tony Hawk obsession, was American Wasteland. I can't tell you which one came out after that, if it was Project 8 or if it was Proving Grounds.
Project 8 came next.
Was it? Okay. And that, I feel like, after American Wasteland, they went to Project 8, and it was just so stripped down, and just felt so different from everything that came before, and I don't like saying this word, because it's weird, but it felt corporate somehow, and I don't know why. I don't know why I'm saying that word, but like that's the word that comes into my mind. Is that it just felt just like safe. Hey, here's a bunch of levels, and just do stuff to become the guy on Tony Hawk's team.
Yeah.
It's a weird game playing now, because the one I'm playing now is the 7th gen version, like the PS3 version.
Yeah.
And growing up, the version I played was the PS2 version, which is the same game but very different.
Mm-hmm.
Because the PS2 version runs the American Wasteland engine, and it's like broken up into levels, and that's like a really good way to play it, and I think is people's preferred way. But the PS3 version is like, it's a fully open world, everything's connected, and the goals are just kind of there. Like, there's not really like a indication of what your goal is. You just kind of like pull up the map and find it, and then go do it. It's very strange.
And I think that's the one that I had played when I was growing up, was that PS3, Xbox 360 version of it. Because I, once again, like with 4, I didn't even know that fucking came out on the PlayStation 1 until a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cross-gen with this series. Hell, I think the last Nintendo 64 game ever made was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
That could be.
And it came out like 6 months after the last Nintendo 64 game had come out. It just showed up in stores, and people were like, what the fuck is this?
The hell?
Why is it blue?
Yeah. But yeah, Project 8. Mike, did you ever play Project 8?
Nope.
Do you have any fucking recollection of it at all?
Nope.
I'm not saying that to like corner you. I'm legitimately being like, out of the kind of diehards really that played the Tony Hawk series up until then, it really does feel like Project 8 was when it dropped off. And I don't know if that's if it was a different developer, because I think they kind of gave it to another developer at some point.
After Proving Grounds is when it went to Robomoto.
Okay.
Before then, it's still Neversoft.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Project 8, the whole story, like I said, you're just doing things to rise up on a ranking to become one of the top 8 skaters, and then Tony Hawk will, I don't know, fuck you. I forget the exact storyline.
That's pretty close. I think you get on his team, but yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, close enough. I remember a level in an amusement park, I think. You skate down a slide?
Fun Park. Is what it's called?
That's not. No, it's
not.
And
then there's
called.
Also, it's called Fun Park. Yeah, and then there's a whole level inside of a Jeep factory. That's just a big sponsorship. Because they were shills for every bit of that game.
Yeah, now I understand why he called it corporate.
Yeah, it's definitely bizarre.
Yeah, God, just looking at this, I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Looking at it through like a modern day lens, it looks like it's made by AI. Like the hands are wonky and the faces, like they're kind of look like the people, but they're a little off. It's a bizarre thing to see now, like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
15, 16 years later, however long it is.
God.
Now, was Project 8... It was either Project 8 or Proving Ground. I can't remember which one. Which one introduced the whole going into slow motion to do flip tricks with the sticks thing?
That would be Project 8. Yeah, they have the nail the trick mode.
That's what it is. That shit is
sucks.
terrible. That is awful. That's one of the worst things that they brought into the Tony Hawk series, and that's saying a lot. That being said, here's you playing it.
Yeah. American Wasteland kind of has like a slow-mo mode, like the focused mode, and I guess Thug 2 had it too, but
Did it? Okay.
It's just like a slow motion mode, and it like helps with your balance and stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Nail the Trick is just obnoxious.
Nail the Trick is just fucking... Who thought that was a good idea? Tony. A little tangent. Not even really a little. Just my spouse hates Tony Hawk. Don't know why.
Oh no.
Yeah. Not the games. Fucking loves the games. Hates the man.
Really?
Oh, he's the most lovable man.
Yeah, like he's actually a cool dude.
So we met, 20 years ago. God damn, I'm old.
Yep.
20 years ago.
We are
at
dusty.
a little like theater. That's where we first met. Was at a theater doing like a not a movie theater but like a theater. And a year or two after we had met, we were already dating and everything. That theater was the they did a screening for a small film festival called what is it? I want to say X Dance instead of Sundance. It was X Dance because it was all about like extreme sports movies and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So the screening that they did there was one about Tony Hawk, I believe. I don't remember the exact, like, the movie, but we were, like, working the counter, which was, here's $1 popcorn, $1 drink to people, and Tony Hawk was there for the screening. So he came up to the counter, and I was just like, fuck yeah, Tony Hawk, he's cool. Can you sign this thing? And it was just like, I don't even fucking, it was like a bandana or something that I had. I don't know why. But I was like, hey, could you sign this? And he's like, yeah. And then he's at the counter. He's just like, yeah, just, want a drink and a popcorn. And as he's standing there, he's, talking to people that people keep coming around. My spouse gets his popcorn, has it filled up, and it's just like, he's standing there talking to people, and my spouse is like,
here's your popcorn.
And just holds the popcorn up to him, and he's not paying attention, and my spouse is just like, hey, dude, popcorn. And he turns around and he's like, oh, thank you. He's like,
hey,
yep.
Dude, you look like Tony Hawk. Do you ever get that?
No, it was very, he knew it was Tony Hawk, and he's just like, I just don't like that guy. I'm like, why? He's like, I don't know. Just don't like him.
Oh, that's
I don't know.
Unbelievable. He's the best. That's like a dream to meet him someday. Yeah. I have a Tony Hawk signature, but I've never met him. It was a gift. So yeah, I have a signed copy of Thug over here on the wall. But yeah, I did a little show and tell on stream with it, and then it's been stuck in that display case. Other than that,
my interaction with him was literally just that. It was just like, hey man, really nice to meet you. Can you sign this? I'm a big fan of all the games and everything. And then I think he did like a Q&A after the screening, but I can't remember because once again, almost 20 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
That would be enough for me. Just the meeting of the giving him a popcorn. Like, you ain't even got to talk to me. Just
dude,
use popcorn. Me as a service, and that's enough for me.
You kidding me? Like, and I laughed because I knew that I don't care about Tony Hawk. I'm like, okay, cool. And it's not like I don't like Tony Hawk, and then he shows up and he's like, oh my god, I hate Tony Hawk. No.
He's
stuck with
like Tony Hawk. Yeah.
So after Project 8, then we get to Proving Grounds, which I can't tell you anything about Proving Grounds.
Do you want me to take over?
have you started playing it,
Please.
or is this your most recent one? Is doing Project 8?
This stream you have up here is the most recent one I played. I just
Yeah.
played Friday.
I played Proving Grounds. I can't tell you anything about Proving Grounds or the story if there was one or what.
Yeah, Proving Grounds was weird. It had like almost like a branching story of like 3 different paths. There was like your regular like skater path, and then there was what they called a rigger, where you
That sounds
built.
racist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
right. It feels real problematic.
Yeah, I almost didn't want to say it, but it's where you like, it's kind of like the Skate 3, like where you skate park edit, where you like put the ramp
Oh,
down,
yeah.
and then you gotta like jump over a car or whatever. Is like that whole storyline, and then there's like an aggressive one where you just like run into people and knock them
The
out.
hardcore skater.
Yeah, but I don't know how well that one did, because that was the last one Neversoft had anything to do with.
It's sad
And
to say that was the last one that was decent, and I can't remember anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of experience with it. I still haven't.
Yeah, no, I think we had that one to play, but it didn't work properly or something, so we didn't do too much in it, if I remember correctly. And then I think by the time we got to that one, it was really close to 1 and 2, so we were just kind of like, oh yeah, let's just wait a couple weeks and just play 1 and 2 because they're better anyway, you know. But
the coolest thing I think they did, Project 8 does it too. Like, it has a goal. Instead of having like a dedicated classic mode, there's a goal you go to, and then that starts a 2-minute timer with a bunch of goals. In Proving Grounds, they had like arcade machines around, and if you went to the arcade machine, it would be a classic mode of that level you're in, and you could do like the 2-minute timer there. And I liked that format of it being like on its like, you can go do these dedicated like 2-minute mission runs where you're at.
yeah,
I just hit my keyboard, make sure nothing exploded. We're good.
it's fine. Yeah, we're all set. Yeah, Project 8 and Proving Ground, once, like, literally just out of my mind. I remember little things about them here and there. I think I remember in Proving Grounds at the very beginning, like, where you unlock the option to, like, kind of choose your path. And it's, like, super early on, you're just, like, in the middle of the city, and then you talk to somebody, and they're like, hey, what do you want to do with your life? And you're just like, I'm going to choose right now. But, yeah, Proving Ground. And then we got
The fuck was that?
Oh, yeah, here we go.
was that?
Here we go. Here's in Project
the nail
8,
the trick mode?
Nail the trick.
Yeah,
You missed the
you can
landing,
watch me fail
dipshit.
that for like, yeah, you can watch me fail it for like a solid 10 minutes because it just didn't. I did everything it said, and it just doesn't do it. You have to be
You
really
missed the
yeah,
landing
precise.
window, yet you landed.
Yeah,
It's like
you,
forcing you to try
The-
and catch a kickflip.
yeah. So you have to do you can pick whatever direction you point the stick chooses, and like left stick I think is to spin like a shove it, and then right stick is rotations like a kickflip.
Okay.
And you can do any variation, as many as you want, but you have to time it either when the trucks are up or when the grip tape's up. And if you're not within that like hitbox, then it just drops the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're seeing me do here. Is that like I didn't hit it in that, especially when you're doing like a shove it and it's spinning that fast. It's really hard to like lock in exactly where it wants you to stop it at, and it can be kind of a nightmare. It's my least favorite goals in that game.
That looks so painful.
And I think this
went on
is
for a
what
while.
this is what kind of tanked the series. Not this specific thing, you know, the nail the trick thing, but you had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 came out, fucking gangbusters. 2 came out and they added the manual. 3 came out and they added Revert. 4 came out and they added the open world. Thug was the story. Thug 2 was a story, and they added some like other things there. But after American Wasteland, instead they kept trying to innovate in ways that didn't need to be innovated.
Mm-hmm.
In ways that didn't work and didn't really fit in with this kind of fast paced. You're going through these levels, you're doing these challenges and everything. You're kind of skating, you're grinding, you're doing this tricks, and now it's like, cool, we're gonna just stop you
Yeah.
and have to learn this whole new mechanic that we just made up for this game that has no like. As silly as most of the games are, has no basis in reality. Like, this is not a thing that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
The revert, the manual, those are things that are just kind of basic moves that you add them in, and they just add something to what you're already doing, whereas this stops you in what you're doing, and I think that was kind of the...
It almost takes on, like, the Skate kind of, like, realistic sim, of gameplay, which is really strange because Project 8 came out a year before Skate. And as I'm playing through this, I'm seeing a lot of weird stuff that almost looks like Skate stole it from Tony Hawk. Like, Coach Frank is a part of it, which is weird, and really messed with my memory of how that even happened. Like, Jason Lee is like a big character in this, and they do the Coach Frank character, which is like a character he has. But they also do, like, Skate has like the Hall of Meat challenges where you're like trying to break as many bones or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are in Project 8, but they're under a different name. Like, they did that, like, crashing into... There's one that I did on stream last week where you're trying to knock down a bunch of bowling pins with your body. Like, you get to a certain part and you bail and you knock down bowling pins. Like, it's trying to be real, but also, like, super wacky at the same time. And it's
It
kind of in, like,
nail,
a weird Skate
It doesn't
area.
Nail that trick.
Oh, he did it, ladies and gentlemen.
And NBs. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs.
Ladies, gentlemen, NBs, he did it.
I acknowledge you, my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Thank you.
God.
Yeah. And let's get into the shit. Because after Proving Grounds, what was the next one?
That would be Ride. KFX.
Because I don't think there was like another just normal Tony Hawk game, and then there was a Ride, there was Shred, there was 1 and 2 HD, which I don't know how you fucked that up, but they did.
Oh boy, I can tell you.
Yep.
Like,
it's rough.
1 and 2 HD for I had it on Xbox Live Arcade. At the time, I was like, fuck yeah, Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, and I was playing it and everything. And then you go back and play 1 and 2 and try to play 1 and 2 HD, and you realize, oh, this is broken. This is not good. This is not a good thing. Like, when we did our playthrough, I think we did 1 and 2 HD, and we're getting super frustrated with trying to remember, like, yeah, this is how, wait, this doesn't feel right. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, but it's just not feeling right. It just feels off. Once again, I don't know how you just fuck that up.
There's a mechanic they put into that broke the game entirely.
Oh,
and
really?
It's Pro Skater 2 had that big drop mechanic where if you were too high up, then you would bail no matter what. And they put that in Pro Skater HD, but it also applies to the THPS 1 levels. So some of those, like mall or downhill, where you're getting these massive airs.
Yeah.
There's like only so much, that like height limiter is super small. So as soon as you go off like a normal jump that are like required for goals, you're bailing no matter what.
Yeah.
And it like entirely broke that game's goals. Not to mention like it's really snappy and the physics are weird.
Yeah. 1 and 2 HD sucked. Ride, Shred. Why?
Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you know what? You're right. That's 100% it. It's hey, we can do something. We've got this IP. We can do something where we sell this dumbass plastic controller, and it just does not work. Have you tried playing it at all yet?
Yeah, when I got this board in, I calibrated it and just did a run through the level. I can't say it was a pleasant experience, and it took a lot longer than it should have to calibrate a board and play the first goal, whatever, just to make sure.
When we got this board and played it, because it was at, I think we've got some friends that own a game store here in Utah, Gamers Asylum. If you are up north, go to Gamers Asylum for all of your video game needs and board games and everything. They're just incredible and they're all great. Gamers Asylum. They had, I think, for years, somebody traded in Shred, and it was just on the shelf. Or I don't even know if it was a trade-in, it was just a copy that they'd had for years.
Oh, God.
And eventually, I think they'd put it down to like $25, and we're like, fuck it, let's
do
go
it.
halvesies. You know,
I love it.
Bought Shred, brought it home, calibrated it as best as we could, and I don't even know if we got through the first level. I know that by the time that we had stopped playing it, we had sat down and just had the board on the ground with our feet because we're just like, this is dumb and this is not working, and I'm getting frustrated, so I'm going to sit down so I can maybe just try to move my feet and have it work. It just didn't work at all. And Shred was the second one where they fixed things. Quinton.
Yeah, and I don't even think it has a campaign to it. There's no career to it, I don't think.
No, it's just fucking levels as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you just run through. There's a few things you do in a couple of levels to make it to the end, and that's the game. There's not set goals or competitions or anything.
Yeah.
And they took out, there's that weird vert mode where you turn the board sideways to be on a half pipe, and I think they removed that from Shred also. I'm really excited to get to these.
Oh my god, I'm excited to watch you struggle through them. I'll be completely honest with you.
God.
The funniest part about ordering this on eBay, it cost more in shipping to get it here than it did to buy the board itself.
And I'm assuming the person that you bought it for also sent you an email being like, hey, you know what you're buying, right? Okay.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to get rid of it as fast as possible. It shipped in no time. It was here in a day.
It was packed up and ready to go. It just
they drove it to you.
It was in a giant box with no packing. They just threw it in there. They're like, this thing's indestructible. And shipped
That's what I do.
They didn't care what kind of condition it came in.
Mike, did you ever play these ones at all?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay. I'm not surprised.
I'm curious because you said you have a skateboarding background, right?
Yeah.
You were skateboarding before Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Before the games. Yeah. So you had no interest in using an actual board as someone.
No. No, because it's like if I want to go skateboarding, I'm gonna go skateboarding.
I came into Tony skateboarding through Tony. I played Tony Hawk and then bought a skateboard. I was like, another way to try to do this skateboard thing through Tony Hawk. It was really disappointing.
Yeah, so by the time Ride came out, I had dropped out of college and I was working at a bar. And the days I would go skateboarding with my degenerate unemployed friends, and then
fucking
go work 5 to 1 a.m. Or whatever, and then just rinse and repeat. So the idea of a fucking $120 or whatever it was, just package that included a thing that looked like a deck.
Especially when you could buy Guitar Hero at the time.
Mm-hmm. Or go to your friend's house who had both Guitar Hero and Rock Band.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to buy a big chunk of plastic that's never going to get moved out of your closet, Guitar Hero is the one to go with.
Seriously.
So
I'm pretty sure I got Ride for Christmas. I think it was a Christmas present, which I think is worse than the time I got a Kinect for Christmas. So
oh, damn.
I'm just gonna have to.
Yeah, no, that feels. Yeah, man. Now getting this game for Christmas feels like somebody just doesn't like you. Like your parents are just
I was hoping that Ride Shred would feel like. I don't know if you guys ever played the arcade game Top Skater.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that had it was an arcade cabinet that had a skateboard deck that you stood on and played on, but it was on kind of a little swivel and you had bars to kind of help you, stay kind of good. And it wasn't the best game ever made, but it was fun because you were just like, cool, I'm doing this and I don't have to actually have that balance and skill to be a skate. You can just kind of kick the back and do this, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And Ride and Shred just came and went like some fucking turds in a punch bowl. But the punch bowl was also full of piss. You know?
I think it has to do with the way it controlled. It's very simplified to, for the regular person.
Yeah.
So every move is you just I hit my mic there, sorry. You pick up the tail.
All right.
and then you just like turn it to the left. Pick up the tail, turn it to the right. Like that's the whole gameplay.
Well, like you pick up the tail and you turn to the
pop it
left
up
or right, and you're
fast.
supposed to be in like this little kind of window, but it's almost impossible to kind of, control this
I noticed-
fucking thing.
When I was calibrating it, like to get, like if you pull it back, you do a manual, but you have to like really pop it up quick to do an ollie or like a flip. Like you have to do it really quickly, and so it's kind of like it's got like a really, I'm trying to think of the words I need to use here. It's a weird window of like it's the way it wants you to do it.
Shit.
You have to be very specific with it so it doesn't work. And the whole thing's like on rails, also makes it a little.
Yeah, it's on rails, but yet you still have to move the character by doing like the kicks to go faster, as opposed to just being like, hey, we have these limitations with this board. Let's work with this with any sort of limitations that we have to make it easy and fun for everybody. But it's made by people who skateboard, who already have that built-in kind of balance in those skills. We're like, oh yeah, no, you do the kick and you move your foot to move, and it's easy. But then that goes to this guy.
Yeah, it goes to you, my friend.
And it's just like, this is frustrating and not fun at all. But hey, at least they redeemed themselves. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5.
Well,
Do I gotta take over this one too? Did you guys not play it either?
I've played a shitload of it. It's in my living room right now.
I have every achievement.
I can't get them.
You can't get the achievements for it?
No. I tried.
Is it
a couple
online
years ago.
service related?
Yeah, you can't get achievements in that fucking game. That game
Really?
is broken. You can barely even get into a level anymore.
Yeah, there was a weird, like, because it really wanted to push the always online thing.
Yeah.
And when I went back to get all the achievements, I had to. There was some weird workarounds to get stuff.
Yeah,
to work
you have to do a
so that I
workaround
could-
just to play the game, and the achievements are just, I think, just broken. Like, they just don't work at all.
Oh, well, I'm glad I got it when I did, because I'm like
Yeah.
in the point, like 0.02% of people to have all of the achievements.
And I didn't want to get all the achievements, but I every December I do the True Achievements 12 Days of Christmas Challenge. I don't know if you've heard of that at all. I think I talked about it on the podcast last year.
I'm a frequent True Achievements person, but I've never looked into what that challenge is.
Yeah, so every December, I mean, if you get achievements and you're on True Achievements, fucking do it. It's just fun. Every December, they have the 12 Days of Christmas Challenge, where for the first 12 days of December, there's a different challenge. And each challenge is basically unlocking achievements from a certain like category or in a certain way or something each day. So like on day 1, it's get an achievement in an adventure game. Cool. Indiana Jones, get an achievement there. Boom. Day 2, get 2 achievements, that start with the word the. Okay, cool. There we go. Day 3, etc., etc., etc. And I think 2 years ago now, on one of the days, because, on True Achievements, you can go and look through, like, achievement lists. And for these challenge, it's like, hey, here's a list of every achievement from every game that's listed that would work for this challenge. And then you can filter it between games that you actually have and shit like that. But like one of them for one of the days was like a really easy Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 achievement. That was probably just like do a combo of 7 moves or some dumb shit like that. And I loaded up the game because I have the disc. So I put it in my Xbox and loaded it up, and took a hell of a long time to just get into a game because it kept, erroring out because I wasn't online, but you just keep retrying and eventually just fucking let me in the game. And I did the combo and everything. Nothing popped. I looked at some other achievements in the game and did those, like really super simple ones that I didn't already have. Nothing pops at all in that game. It's just broken.
Yeah, it seems like the more that game ages, the worse it gets somehow.
And
it's the opposite of a game that gets fixed with updates.
Yeah, no, it gets broken with updates. I watched a recent episode, or not a recent episode, but I recently watched an episode of Clueless Gamer from Conan and Conan's show.
Yeah.
And they did a Clueless Gamer episode about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 with Tony Hawk and Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne's in the game.
Yeah.
And just
Not
watching
their
that,
proudest moment.
like just watching that, you can see them trying to pretend that this game is any good, and it's just not.
Tony will never admit that any of the games are bad.
No.
Like he even he thinks Ride is a good game that people just didn't understand, and I don't get that. Like you gotta see what you made there, bud.
See the glitter there a little bit
Got a very purple sheen to it.
on the bottom of the glass. Mike, did you ever play 5?
Nope.
I'm gonna need you to come over and
Didn't know
play
it
5.
existed.
Okay.
Okay.
It is so bad. It is broken. It doesn't work. The character creation thing is just fucking weird. Like, you can get like a Lil Wayne character, but then put like a robot head on him for no reason at all.
Okay.
Yeah, you can create a skater in place of every single skater.
Yeah.
To look like whatever you want. Or you can just play as their normal skin, but it's classified under that skater.
Amazing.
It's
just a weird system.
Awful. And Quinton's gonna have to play it, but
there's some stuff in there that like could have been a good idea if the game worked good. Like there's a mode where you like your head gets bigger and you have
there's
to
a big head
to
mode.
keep it small, and then if you don't do it, then your head explodes, which is kind of like a fun game. But they also introduced power-ups, and the power-ups, some of them are like required for levels. Like there's like a double jump power-up that makes you jump higher. I don't know if
they tried to gamify the game way too much, in my opinion. I think that might have been what the problem
they kind of design, like there's a rooftop level that's like designed around having that power-up.
Yeah.
And if you bail, then you lose it. So, like, you can't get to half the level unless you stop what you're doing and go pick up the power-up again, and then you go back to what you were doing just because you bailed somewhere. Like, it wrecks the gameplay to force these on you, but then not give them to you all the time.
There's a level set in space that has, like, low gravity that you can't turn off. But then it's just, like, a normal level with low gravity.
That sounds terrible.
No, it is. Like, it's one thing if you're like, hey, this level has low gravity, so it's different and it works with the low gravity. No, it's just like a flat level with ramps and with grinds and everything, but there's low gravity and you're just floating most of the time, and it's just fucking, it's unplayable at times.
That one made me really mad because it's designed like a regular level, but like you like have to clear a gap and like hit a rail. And you'll hit it. You'll be going like a mile an hour and hit it, and you'll go way over the rail. Like there's no way to slow yourself down to hit what you're supposed to hit because they designed the level, and then we're like, what if we have zero gravity with it?
Okay.
Just ruins.
What I want to do, if you're all okay with it, I have to pee real bad. Okay. But Mike, Quinton.
Yep.
Whoever wants to go first, give me your favorite levels throughout the entire series. Let's talk about those specific levels and why you love them.
Like one per game? Is that a goal?
It doesn't matter. Just whichever. Like you. Okay. If I say your favorite Tony Hawk levels, the ones that come into your mind immediately. Doesn't matter what game they're from. You don't have to have one per each game. We don't need to go through each one. But just like these are the ones that I always remember. And I'm gonna go pee, and I'm listening because I have AirPod.
Okay.
Before we get into this, I do want to point something out that I noticed on the Tony Hawk Games wiki about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. They had a day zero patch that came in at 7.6 gigs.
Yes.
The size of the game, just the vanilla game, 4.3 gigs. So
yeah, that's kind of a controversy with that game, is that it's like a Call of Duty game. The game isn't on the disc.
It's not on the disc.
It's like the first level. It's like a demo, and then the day zero patch gives you the game.
It's weird. God.
Yeah, it's a terrible like idea. I don't like Call of Duty does it and it sucks, but I don't know
it's
why.
Such a bummer.
Tony Hawk
that.
isn't big enough to warrant that.
No, especially at this point in time. God, no. That was just, no,
Especially
like,
the game is 7 gigs. Like, he couldn't
yeah,
fit that on the disc.
like, really? I know how much space there are on these things. Trust me.
That really shows you
But
how much they rushed it out the door, that they were like, well, I guess we'll
seriously.
just ship the discs out and then update it later with the game.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, whatever, okay. Oh, man. No, God, one of my favorite levels of all time was the school in Pro Skater 2. Just because it had the Gons rail and it had the Carlsbad Gap.
Yeah.
Oh, those were
I
so
like
cool.
the leap of faith being in
Oh,
there as like
mhm.
a gap, calling back to the actual the Jamie Thomas video is
Yeah.
such like that's such a fun gap to hit every time.
Oh, yeah. So good.
And like calls back to like one of the all-time greatest like skate parts of all time. That
Yeah,
jump is
just,
so cool. Every single time you see it, it's so cool.
oh, yeah. And it's just, that is one that nobody's ever going to be able to go back and get because they changed the layout of the physical school. And now the leap of faith is just straight up gone. So,
I didn't know that. That sucks.
yeah.
That's such an iconic place.
Yeah, Jamie Thomas just like doing that like backside grab over the rail and breaking his board, not actually landing it. Like that was the one and only attempt. And the one and
That's
only
so
attempt there will
iconic.
ever be. Man. That was
Yeah, I have like a CVS receipt of favorite levels of Tony Hawk.
yeah.
It just,
Now just like
it
getting
goes on
into
forever. Like I don't know, for the like warehouse and hangar have to be on there, like the first levels, and Foundry, like the first 3 like opening levels are all
yeah.
certified bangers.
Mm-hmm. God, oh, Burnside in the first game. Oh, so good.
I'm a Burnside hater.
Ah,
I like that I love when they do like real locations,
yeah.
but it's there's something about that level. It's just too small and it's too real for the gameplay.
Yeah, they
I
did
think
like a realistic level in something that was just so arcadey.
it's hard to get from one thing to another. I can't tell if
Mm-hmm.
he's on a frozen screen or if he's just that good at holding the pose.
He was holding the pose.
There we go. That's the only
That's a
Tony Hawk
coaster.
game I don't own physical.
That's a hell of a coaster you got there, buddy.
A new era of skating begins.
No.
Skate is one of 10 pros, including Tony Hawk, Nigel Houston, and Chris Cole.
Chris Cobra Cole, baby.
Lost a lot of legends here. Build and share your own skate parks with 250 plus obstacles. Shred online with 20 skaters at once. Rated T for mild
It's
lyrics.
unfortunate the guys that got their start in those games. Like that's so unfortunate for you. That you're
It's
like, I'm
such a
gonna be in a
weird-
Tony Hawk, and then you're like, oh man, not
Yeah,
this
this-
one.
Oh.
So
Damn.
another fact about this, and I think it's a fact. I'm fairly certain it's a fact. The reason that it came out so rushed is because they were going to lose the license. So like they had
that
to get
makes
the game
sense.
out as quick as possible to keep the license.
It
That sounds like
tracks.
something I've heard before.
Yeah, School 2, great level. School 1, all right, but School 2 is far
Yeah,
superior.
School 2 that's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
Was in Quinton, you might be able to remind, was there anything in Tony Hawk 1 that was like a secret area? Because in School 2, you had the secret area of the pool that you didn't necessarily get to see unless you did a couple of things to unlock the pool area. And like the gymnasium.
Not that I recall. There's like like secret tape areas like
Yeah,
in
like in
downtown where you, like, have
warehouse,
to
you
skate
go
all the
up
way
and
up on
there's
top.
yeah.
But I don't think there's no like secret levels that are like secret areas that are activated by anything in that one.
Okay.
As far as I know.
But yeah, I mean, I
But
remember
2
that
had
in
a couple of them.
in School 2, the gymnasium, which wasn't necessary to actually beat the level or complete anything. You didn't need to get there, as far as I remember, at least for any of the goals. But you get in there and like, oh, cool, now we're in a pool, and we have this whole fucking pool to skate in, and then you've got the other side of the gymnasium, which is, I think, that's where they really started to get into their Duffy, if you will, of being like, this is the level design. Is you've got this level that you're skating, you've got this that you can do, you hit this pole and it falls over, and now you can grind this pole, and that's an achievement or that's a goal. I keep saying, whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of those iconic secret spots like that. Like the one that you just mentioned, like in Philadelphia, where you hit that and then you're in FDR. Like another iconic skate park that you just unlock by grinding on a rail. And then... Is that
like 3 or is that 4 where you grind on like a wall and then the entire wall comes down and there's a whole little skate park there?
Might be 4.
Shit.
Because I'm not sure exactly which one you're referring to.
Yeah, there's more
3...
than one.
3 had one in Rio where you go through like a fence, you break through a fence, and then it had the Skater Island where you grind on like a flag, and then the pirate ship opens up.
Yeah.
Out of the side. There's a lot of those little like grind here, and then suddenly there's a new area for you.
So, Quinn, I'm gonna put you on the spot right now. Favorite level of all time in Tony Hawk game? 1.
Oh boy,
Number 1.
Number 1 level of all time. I don't know if I can choose. It's like my children.
You tell little Jimmy that he's not the favorite, okay? He already knows.
I'm a big fan of the, like, not necessarily the real skate park levels, but ones that look like skate parks, that are like Tampa, or like Skater Island, or like any of those that are like the actual like indoor skate park levels.
Yeah.
So if I had to choose, like, out of all of them, it may be Tampa from Thug, that has the whole outer area.
Yeah, and then you have the skate park inside. Yeah.
And then, the Tampa level from 2X inside of it, that's also like a real place. It's got it all. It's got all you want in there. But, like, Canada is a real close second. I love Canada. And, stuff like that. Trying to think of what else would be. There's a couple things that would fight for it, but I think Tampa's was going to have to take it from Thug.
Nice. Mike, would you go with School 2, do you think?
Yeah, School 2. Man, do want to say London from Pro Skater 4. That was a fun one.
Yeah, it's got all that flat ground area.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of flat ground. I think there was a couple of missions in 4 in London that I hated when I was growing up, like when I was a kid and I was first playing it. Going back to play it a few years back.
It's got that one where you lay down and you're like laying down on the skateboard and you got to run through the track, but it controls so terribly.
Yeah.
You just crash into every single wall and fail it. I hate it. I loathe that level.
4 is the one that has the... Unless I'm wrong, 4 is the one that has the skate park with the snake in it.
Yeah, Kona.
Yeah.
Yeah, the slalom run.
Not that level. Honestly, level dope. That, like, having to, go through and do the slalom. Worst fucking goal in that game.
That kind of stuff is why I'm okay with 4 having the 3+4 having the 2-minute streamlined goals. Because there's some of those things that should probably stay in the original 4. Like
that. The whole
I don't know if we need the
thing
slalom run
is kind of like the nail that trick, where it's just like, we have to do something new for this game.
Yeah.
So let's just
it's baseball with ghosts in Alcatraz.
God.
There's a lot of absurdity to that game.
But what I want to do here as we wrap up is we watched the OG, like the initial reveal trailer last week for 3 and 4. This is the trailer for the digital deluxe edition.
Okay.
That has some bonuses stuff. I don't know if I've watched this yet. I honestly don't think I have, but let's give this a watch.
You haven't seen it yet.
I know what it comes with, but I don't know if I've watched this trailer. So
Okay, you're
God.
the digital deluxe trailer. Yeah, this one's mostly Foundry stuff and Doom.
Fucking Doom guy as a
Yeah.
playable character.
Yeah, that special trick where you throw down a chainsaw and grind on it.
Mhm.
That's so sick.
Fucking revving it like... Yeah, skate decks, create skater apparel, bonus in-game music from Doom, which, let's be honest,
Yeah.
like, the Doom fucking soundtrack just fits.
My only hope is that it's Mick Gordon stuff, like stuff we've already got. Like Doom
Yeah,
2016 soundtrack.
I would
Yeah.
have, like, you'd have to think that's what it is. Either Doom or Doom Eternal,
God,
you know?
Unless
kind
it's
of a
Doom
si-
the Dark Ages.
kind of a side note, kind of not. I just watched this little like hour-long documentary about the Doom 2016 soundtrack and Eternal and how much of a fucking shit show it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How Bethesda tried to throw the guy under the bus at every possible turn.
Yeah, I remember that story was coming out that was just like every day it was like something else. You were like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
It's too much for video game music production.
Dude, yeah, and dude made, like, a kick-ass soundtrack, and you can't just be like, yeah, he made the soundtrack and we're cool. Like, you don't have to do anything fucking special for it.
Yeah, no, it's just like, well, we don't like these tracks. Oh, just kidding. We like them. We're giving them to this sound engineer to try and turn this demo into a viable actual song for a AAA video game.
Yeah.
Just fucking nuts.
And this is let's pop this one on because this shows some more. Okay, so yeah, that's one thing that I was thinking that I forgot from this original reveal trailer. It looks like they do have sketching in this game, in the remake.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually like part of a goal that you had to like sketch the like college professor's car or whatever.
Yeah, there were a
Which you
couple.
would
I
think
think there were a
wouldn't
couple
be
of
in
sketching
there
goals.
if it wasn't, if they didn't have the original goals. So there must be some semblance of original goals in there, because there's also in some footage they showed like the parade floats you have to do spines on are in the background of an image.
Well, because that's the thing is like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 has goals.
Yeah,
it's just the way that you initiate them is different. So I feel like you might have some things that aren't in there from 4, but goals wise, you'll probably have most, if not all of them, except for hopefully the slalom shit.
If you look at the goals list for Pro Skater 4, a majority of them are on a 2-minute timer, but they're on their like own 2-minute timer.
Yeah, like you
like
start a thing and then here's 2 minutes to do this.
Yeah, you get like 2 minutes to get a high score, and then you go get a separate 2 minutes for your pro score, and a separate for your 6 score. Just do the scores all together. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, why would they have to be in a separate timer? Same with skate letters and combo. They're all these 2-minute timers, but they're just like on their own. So I can see how those would fit, and then you can also just sketch this car while you're doing that, or 3 had levels like that, like goals like that, like like grinding the bucket in Foundry to make it fall, or in Canada when you hit the tree to cover that bully, or the earthquake. Like there's a lot of like bizarre goals in with your skate letters and high scores and stuff.
Yeah. And that's once again, and that's in 3 where you're doing these things to actually change the level design a bit to be able to do things. So, oh man, God, I am so hyped for 3 and 4 remake.
Yeah, I am so excited for it,
Mike.
And
I'm.
Oh, Quinton, go ahead.
I have a pre-installed on
my
really? PC.
Yeah. I'm not there yet. I think I'm gonna end up with that collector's edition with the actual Birdhouse skate deck.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
I thought that'd be a cool thing, and then it's like, the Tony Hawk signature is printed on. Okay, then why the fuck are you doing it? Just be a deck.
Yeah, I just want it just to have it, just a piece. I've got an old Birdhouse like Hawk skull deck over there in the corner that I've had since I was a kid, and I just feel like I want another one. Just want a new one. I'm not gonna use it. I just want it.
You're not gonna put shit on it. It's just gonna be the deck on the wall.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the teenage girl Bam Margera deck and just buy
There
it.
you go.
Hey, Mushka. Come skate your sugar dish ramp. Come down to
What a
West
solid
Chester.
callback to the beginning.
Oh,
We
yeah.
really brought this thing around, didn't we?
There we go. Mike,
Yo.
so when this game 3 and 4 comes out, do you want to come over and we do a live stream of us playing it and drinking Mountain Dew and eating Pizza Hut?
Hell yeah.
Okay, Quinton, I don't know where you live, but come down to Salt Lake.
It's a bit of a trip for me from Illinois to there.
It's fine. You get a car
That'll be
or a
fun.
plane. Flight.
It'd be a cool possibility.
Yeah. At the very least, we could probably do like a live stream or something if you're into it. But I am so fucking stoked for 3 and 4 remake. Did not think it was gonna happen after the whole after 1 and 2, and then Vicarious Visions got kind of gobbled up and turned into a fucking Call of Duty studio.
As is what happens to Tony Hawk developers. They either make bad stuff or they end up going into Call, because Neversoft got folded into Call of Duty also.
Yeah.
And then Vicarious. So Iron Galaxy's on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently,
just a matter
Iron
of
Galaxy
time.
did the port of 1 and 2 to PC.
Yes, yeah, they did do
so it's
that.
not like
But it's
they've not had
listed
any.
anywhere.
Yeah, it's not like they've not had any, experience with the Tony Hawk games. Like they ported that 1 and 2 remake to PC. So I think the game is in good hands.
Yeah, and you can tell like that Vicarious Visions 3+4 was in the works.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is it. Like you can tell this is the same engine, it's the same models. They're just up-resed and
Yeah.
just for newer
Like
consoles.
at this,
It's
you have the same engine of actually playing the game, which is the most important thing, in my opinion, at least, is that engine of being able to grab the sticks and press. I do this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Everything feels right, and now you're just putting the levels around that engine, and you have the blueprints from the original games.
Yeah, I described this as it's like a Weekend at Bernie's situation. Like they just pick up the corpse of that Vicarious Vision games and they're like, we're gonna puppet you out as a new game. Yeah. And that's what it's become. And then they added new levels, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Like add 1 or 2 levels. Cool. And what I would
3 are confirmed.
What I would 3 new levels.
Yep.
Okay, what I would love is, and I don't know if this is going to be the case with it. Oh my god, puddles. Hope they're good. Is maybe, hey, we're going to take this engine. Here's some new levels. Tell us what you think of these, because if these get a good reception, maybe there's a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 6. Maybe there's a whole new game in this series using this engine that actually fucking works as opposed to 5 or whatever, and just being like, cool, this is the basic Tony Hawk engine. Everybody can pick it up. You can play it. You know what to fucking do. Mm-hmm. But here's some new levels with new goals and like maybe new skaters and stuff like that.
Yeah, after they do Thug 1+2, they can do that.
What if there's like the next remake is Project 8? Why?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
1+2 remake.
But my theory I have a theory on like everything with this game.
Okay.
I've been a real conspiracy theorist.
This is the time to bring the theory out.
Oh, I've got a lot. We could be here for another 3 hours with all my thoughts.
Hey,
my
I don't have work in the morning.
With these extra level, the original Pro Skater 4 had competitions within each level. Like you had to go up and you started like a 2-minute run competitions through your heats. Whereas 1, 2, and 3 all had like you do 2 or 3 levels and then a competition and then 2 or 3 and then a competition. You have to get your 3 gold medals. But those levels aren't in Pro Skater 4. They don't have dedicated competition levels. So my theory is with 3 levels that they're 3 competition levels. They're kind of weird locations for them, like a water park, and the other one's called Pinball, and then the other one is we have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
But they'd be weird levels for competition. That's my crackpot theory, is that these are going to be the competition levels for the
So you're thinking like, so with 4, instead of doing the open world, you're going from this level to this level to this level. You're doing the 2-minute things, and these 3 new worlds are those competition.
Yep. Yeah,
the Marseille, the Burnside, those competitions to get the gold medals and stuff.
Yeah, that's my thought. Is they'll just slot them in throughout the 4 career.
Yeah,
to give you a because somebody's going to be mad if you take Kona and you're like, yeah, there's no goals in Kona. That's a competition level.
Yeah.
So I could see that, or they don't do the competitions and they're their own. But my theory is that that's what they'll do. They'll take the place of those.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe because it's fuck off, Duolingo. It's fucking owl. Like with new levels, I'm wondering if they'll even have goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, once again, is this kind of a backdoor pilot situation where it's like, here's 3 new levels that we've made for this game that are going to be kind of tacked on, and they have their own goals, they have their own missions, they have their own, vibe, if you will, to be that kind of precursor almost to a new game.
If they want them to survive, they need to put goals in them.
They do,
because it's kind of been a problem with the Tony Hawk series since day one. Anytime you unlock a level at the end, like chopper drop, which is just a half pipe, or in the later games, you unlock like Thug 2, you get the triangle in classic mode that has goals, but then you also unlock one that's called like Pro Skater. And it doesn't have goals. It's just a level that you go to.
It's just a level that you free skate. Yeah, and you play it for a bit, and you're like, okay, cool.
Nobody cares about it.
Yeah.
Nobody cares that goal ever exists, that level ever existed. If you don't have something for people to do in it, they're going to go to it, free skate it for 4 minutes, and then leave. Like, they're never going to play that level again.
Yep.
Because they didn't spend time in it to like it the first time. So, if you want them to survive, you got to give them something to do.
You got to give them some fucking goals. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and we'll get this wrapped up here because, Quinton, we've taken too much of your time already. But once again, we will have you on any fucking time to talk Tony Hawk or, whatever you want to fucking talk about. I don't give a shit. You're a cool dude.
Absolutely. This was a blast. You guys can bring me back anytime.
Yeah.
I love this Tony Hawk talk.
Yeah. I mean, it's specific. At the very least, when 3 and 4 come out, if you haven't come back yet to talk about another game series or something else, we'll have you back for all of us to talk about our experiences with 3 and 4 remake.
Absolutely, I would love to.
So, but what are your plans streaming wise? Where can people find you to watch you? Let us know.
Oh boy, I'm at Blaster Goblin everywhere.
Okay.
Except for Xbox, I'm Blaster Goblin with a 0 in the Goblin. It's the only one I couldn't keep my name on.
Fair.
But yeah, YouTube, or you can go to blastergoblin.com and that has links to everything. You can find me on Instagram or YouTube, TikTok if you want. And I stream every Friday night at 9-ish p.m. Central. I have a toddler, so times vary from 9 to 9:30. And videos come out randomly. I should have one up. I guess this posts on Thursday.
Yep, Thursday morning.
So I should have a video out tomorrow. So it'll be out. It'll be out yesterday by the time people hear this. I hope. It's a little short one. They've been a little unruly and large recently. And then after that, I've got another big one coming out about the San Andreas Bigfoot history and debunking it. And I've been working on it for like 4 months. Kind of a monster. And I'm ready to get out for people. So
what was the, I think...
Check it out.
And I don't know if you post this in like a kind of funny group or something.
No, I try to avoid... I mean, I'm a shill if I can be. But I try to avoid... just pushing stuff out to people.
So, well, because there was I don't remember which video it was of yours that like I had seen, and I don't know where it linked from, but it's what put you on my radar at least. I can't remember exactly which one it was, and this isn't on the screen anymore, unfortunately. So I'm just kind of scrolling through on the side here, but Yeah, no. His video content, he makes actual, like, almost like, I would say video essays, if you will. Is that a good term for it?
I've yet to find a name for them because sometimes
Yeah.
they become a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
uh, I've tried a lot of different things.
Yeah. But I found, fuck, I don't even remember what fucking video it was, and now I'm scrolling through and nothing is popping out being like, this is the one. But yeah, I just remember, like, I came across your stuff, I think through Kind of Funny, like a channel through there, or maybe somebody had reposted it, something. And
I've featured vocally on Kind of Funny stuff before, not camera wise, but I've talked through a old PS I Love You segment I was in.
Yeah. That might be where it came from. Like, was it like a PS I Love You? Like Greg is like, hey, tell us your video game things, and I'll yell at you about it, something like that.
I was a part of that one, I think, and I was also a part of gamer math.
That's it, the gamer math one,
and that's where you hit my radar. Was there?
Yes. Yeah, because the gamer math one was like a, hey, call in, tell us your gamer math stuff, to be like, hey, should I buy this thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember what mine was like, should I buy the PS Portal even though I already have a Steam Deck? Something like that.
Mine was should I buy a PS Portal with a 2-month-old toddler, a 2-month-old baby, and a hefty hospital bill.
Really quick. I don't even know if this is on. Oh, it wouldn't even be on the fucking screen. But there's a thing right here, and you can't see it on screen, but there's a Resident Evil 4, what do you say when everything has already been said, and in the thumbnail you're wearing a Blink-182 shirt with the tattoo that I have on it, and you and I are now, we're best friends now. You're part of this podcast. Mike, we have 3 people now.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the video that destroyed my channel for a solid couple months. That's I kind of do this thing. I started it last year or the year before last, and then did last year, where I'm reviewing. Oh, not only am I playing all the Tony Hawk games, I'm also reviewing all the Resident Evil games. Mm-hmm. So, 2 years ago, I did 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica X, and then last year I did 4 and 5, and 0. Which ones they were. So I've just kind of been going through them, and yeah, that's my. I apparently like to just do events where I run through a bunch of full series of stuff.
Hey, fuck it, might as well.
If you're into that, go subscribe.
I mean, fuck it, go subscribe anyway. Always support all of our friends here from the podcast, no matter who it is. Do you only stream on YouTube, or do you do Twitch as well?
Yep, I'm a YouTube main. I only YouTube, and occasionally I put something really stupid up on TikTok, but I consider it a garbage platform. So
that's fair. It's a garbage platform.
It's stuff that should have been a tweet. Is what goes there.
But yeah, follow Quinton over youtube.com/blastergoblin. Follow him on all the socials. Mike, did you get one of these?
It's probably over at my parents' house.
It might be, yeah. This showed up last week. This is the silver medal for raising money during Extra Life. So thank you everybody for donating. This showed up in my mail, a couple days. It was actually last week, but I forgot to bring it out last week, so I wanted to show it up today. Just super hyped that we were able to raise money for the kids.
Hell yeah.
Maybe this year we'll do something. Actually, this year, we'll probably we're going to do something this year. And maybe we'll play Tony Hawk. Nice. We'll put fucking Tony Hawk's shred on the wheel of shit.
Yes.
And I'll make Mike play it.
Oh boy.
Hey,
I've done my time.
Ride. Get me in.
Yeah. Mike, what are your plans this week? Are you streaming this week at all, or?
I don't know. Just kind of. Yeah, just been super tired when I get home from work, so it's really hard to stream.
I mean, I don't get it, but I get it.
It's like your entire memory of ever having a job has just been erased.
It's gone. Yeah, it's just gone.
Just gone.
You know? It has been 6 days.
God damn. It's been all of a week, and
It's been 1 week since I had a job.
All right, we're done here. Yeah, no.
Just kill the podcast with one reference.
Just kill. It says podcast to kill. Yeah. No plans for streaming. If I do, I want to hop on like Saturday or Sunday and just like spend more than a couple of hours playing something. So, you know,
I could just do a Saturday stream playing Cyberpunk.
Might do that.
It's an incredible game.
It is an incredible game. I am enjoying it. I am also enjoying my my properly modded Fallout New Vegas. So,
is it working now?
Yeah, it's working. It's not crashing every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, that has been fun. I just started Old World Blues, which feels like a mistake.
Old World Blues, is that where you get your brain replaced?
Yep. You gotta talk to brains in jars for a while.
Yep.
And they're fucking just... God damn it.
You go to the big empty?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I played a lot of fucking Fallout.
Level 20 in New Vegas, and then I quit playing.
And then you quit. Yeah, of course you fucking did.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, it didn't make it far.
Well, yeah, Mike, give my love to the beginner. She's incredible.
Always do.
Okay. And then, yeah, once again, if anybody has any games for the beginner to play, she has so far loved Unpacking and Donut County. So any indie games, anything like that you can think of that are kind of in that vein.
Yeah, just like real simple control scheme. You know, that's kind of what we need right now. So
Calamari Damacy.
Tried that one. Didn't work out so well.
Oh yeah, we did try. Oh yeah, you did. Okay. Yeah. That was a mistake.
Yeah. It's the whole the dual analog stick.
Yeah, it's a weird control.
It's a weird thing.
It's simple, but it's a weird control scheme. Yeah.
If you've never done it, it's a trick. But yeah.
So, Blaster Goblin, do you have any quick indie games easy to play?
The video I have coming out is on Mika than the Witch's Mountain.
Okay.
If you guys know about this one, it's
I've seen the name.
People compare it to Kiki's Delivery Service, that anime that I guess some people like. You're a witch and you deliver packages. You talk to the guy and it's like, here's a package, and then you kind of fly around on your broom and drop it off.
Dex played this on stream.
Oh, did he?
Our buddy Miram Dex. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember watching him play it. No, that looked super adorable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I like to have one like cozy artsy game a year, and this is my one for the year. So
nice.
I enjoyed it. It crashed a lot on Xbox.
Well,
maybe don't play it on Xbox, but other than the crashing every like 20 minutes, it was good.
All right.
Cool. Well.
Oh yeah.
We will see you all next week. We're not entirely sure what the topic is next week just yet.
I don't know.
But I do want to throw out, if you are watching and you are a fan of video games and wrestling, hit us up, because we're working on something for Story Mania 2 in April, and we would love to get some feedback from all of you, or some videos, anything from all of you. And Blaster Goblin, Quinton, if you are a wrestling fan, I don't know if you are, your background looks cool as shit. Does not look wrestling related. It looks like comic books, and I see a Mafia 2 or 3 poster.
Yeah, that's a Best Buy display of a Mafia poster, and then it's a Far Cry 5 that I took when I worked at Best Buy.
Yeah. I don't know if you're into wrestling. If you are, let me know. If not, totally fine. Not a lot of people are. But yeah, we're working on something for Story Mania 2. We did a thing last year, and this year we're just going to expand it. And then, we will see you all next week. I'm going to hit that outro music.
Okay.
Maybe. I hear it. Do you guys hear it?
No.
Of course you don't, because it doesn't play through, because it's just through an OBS thing, so you guys won't hear it. So, but it's playing now, so on the recording, the music is playing. It's getting louder and louder.
That's good.
I think now it should be the maximum volume. So thank you, everybody. We will see you all next week. And yeah, Quinton, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Got a few seconds left. It's a long outro song.
Oh, you just hang out till it stops?